Hi everyone, a very good noon to all of you. How are you guys? I hope I'm clearly visible and audible to you. So, I welcome you to this part 13 of this series 500 must know vocabulary words. So far we've had 12 sessions and I highly recommend that you watch those 12 sessions. I'm sure you will learn a lot about the various types of questions that are asked in your OMETs. Okay, the various types of vocabulary questions that are asked and how to deal with them, how to eliminate, how to attempt. In the process, you will also learn various high frequency words, some important roots that are actually relevant for you when it comes to your exams. Right? So do watch these sessions and welcome. Hi Pratik. Hello Tarun. A very good noon to all of you. Hi Vineet. All right. So today I have brought direct vocabulary questions. So there are synonym, antonyms, right? Then there are fill in the blanks. There is contextual vocabulary where I'll ask you synonym, antonym in context. There are idioms, right? So a variety of questions. As you know, my focus is always on the types of questions because ultimately you have to attempt vocabulary questions in the exam, right? Good noon, Pratyusha. Okay, so here's your first question for the day. Now, see, we've been practicing for the last 12 sessions, so I want you to attempt with speed today. Okay, so try to attempt these questions as speedily as possible because vocabulary questions are your time-saving questions in the exam, right? So practice, saving that time right from today. Tell me, what is the antonym of the word niggard? Yes, quickly. Let's see what you say. Hmm. Pratham says B. Okay. Pratham has answered the fastest. What about others? Pratik, what do you say? Tarun, Vineet, Pratyusha, what do you say? Yes, tell me quickly. So, have you heard this word anywhere? Niggard, niggardly. Have you heard this word? Okay. First of all, this word is not related to the offensive term nigger. Okay. In case you are thinking that, no, that's not the case. It is not related to the offensive term for black people, nigger. So please don't think that this is a racist word or this is an offensive word. However, people who do not know this sometimes find this word offensive, and that's why some people do not use this word. So niggard is a noun and the adjective form of this word is niggardly. What is it? Niggardly. Right. So niggardly or a niggard is a person who is a miser. Right. Somebody who is stingy. Somebody who is penny pinching. Yes, we've done these words. Penny pinching, parsimonious, close-fisted, stingy. Yes. So if that is the meaning, can that be the answer then? Those who've marked D. Those are saying miser. No, I need an antonym, isn't it? So miser cannot be the answer. Altruist will be the answer. So Pratyusha, absolutely correct. Pratik, absolutely correct. Altruist is the answer here. That is the opposite. Altruist is someone who is charitable, who cares for his fellow humankind, right? Albino is not at all the answer. Albino is used for a person who lacks pigmentation in his or her skin. Okay, so that person is called albino, and you can Actually look at pictures and that will make it clear to you what albino people usually look like, right? Irritable, not at all related. Covetous, what does this word mean? Yes, covetous. E. This could be a new word for you. I'm sure you know about the word covet. When we covet something, we really want it for ourselves. We long for it. We want it. Covetous is a person who's greedy, who wants something that belongs to someone else, right? A greedy person is called a covetous person. So, probably a couple of new words for you here. Let's come to the next question then. Synonym question. Just a second. Yeah, the word is reprisal. I want you to give me its synonym. What do you say? For our word here, reprisal. Do not confuse it with reprise. I'll tell you the meaning of reprise also. So Tarun is asking, are benevolent and altruistic synonyms? Yes, they are synonyms. Benevolent means somebody who's very kind, very charitable. So yes, they are synonyms. D is what I've got. Most of you, in fact, say D. Did you Google the meaning? You're not supposed to do that. Reprisal. See, reprisal is a noun, first things first, and it means when you seek, when you do something in retaliation, that is called a reprisal. So if I say that the current the violence in XYZ area met with a reprisal, that means people retaliated to that violence. Okay, so there wasn't just one act, there was a counter attack to it also. So retaliation. Vendetta is actually a close word. Okay, so I actually expected that some of you would get confused here. Vendetta. So I'm sure you've heard of this movie, V for Vendetta. I've also not seen it, I've just heard of it. So vendetta is basically when you hold a feud. Okay, so a feud, a long running dispute that people have, right? Usually it's for families, it's used for families. So earlier this used to be the case, no, families used to be very tightly in it. And if let's say you murdered someone in someone's family, then that family held a vendetta against you. They would also seek revenge by murdering someone in your family, right? That way. So that is the traditional meaning of vendetta, but it is also used for any long running grudge, any long running dispute. So if for instance uh, in UK you see that the media doesn't portray this princess, what's the actor who's now a princess, oh my god, I forgot her name. So they portray her in a bad light. Usually they portray her in a bad light, so we can say that the media has a vendetta against her, right? The media has a vendetta against her. So I hope now you've understood the meaning of vendetta very clearly. Either a blood feud, absolutely correct, okay, between families, or a long running grudge, a long running dispute, a long running quarrel, right? Okay. No, no, not Diana, the current one, the Prince Harry's spouse, Meghan Markle. Yes, yes. Thank you, Meghan Markle. So, yes, you've got it. And the answer is D here, reprisal. Now, students sometimes also confuse this word with reprise. Reprise is something, so if you hear songs, you must, in case you notice their description, so, after some songs, this word reprise is written. What is this reprise? Reprise means when you basically re-perform a song, a further performance of a song that has already been sung. That is a reprise. And it does not have anything to do with reprisal. right? So just two commonly confused words. Okay, let's come to another antonym question. So the word is officious, and here we have a none of these option also, right? Tell me what is the antonym of officious. Encore Vedant is usually used when, let's say, a performance is happening and you love the performance, so you ask for a repetition of a performance. So that is called an encore. We can use it in this sense also, but a better term when, let's say, a song is performed further by another singer later on is reprise. What do you say? Officious. So is this a synonym of official? I've got E, C, what else? Prasanna says C, Pratyusha C, Vedant E. All right. Others. Just three responses. Come on, guys. No negative marking here. All right, then I'll discuss it. I don't mind discussing it with just three responses, but I would really like it if more of you respond. Okay. So officious is an adjective, right? An officious person is someone who is, there are two meanings of the word. There are people who are very dominating, especially even in trivial matters. So, if you have such a boss who is domineering and even in trivial matters, then that person is an officious person, right? You can use the word officious to describe them. Another is that, let's say, your boss is a very well-meaning person, but they're always ready to offer you advice, over enthusiastic, over friendly, over helping. That is another meaning of officious, right? So people who are very enthusiastic to offer help or advice, they are also called officious. So one meaning, I mean, both are negative in a way, but one is about asserting authority, the other is about offering help, advice. So the opposite of it would be someone who doesn't care. Yes, someone who doesn't even assert authority, doesn't care, or does not offer advice, help, doesn't care. So the opposite here is indifferent. Okay, indifferent. In fact, if you're looking for the exact antonym, no, the exact antonym of this word is self-effacing. Self-effacing. Have you heard this word? Self-effacing. So someone who is self-effacing would always, put themselves in the background. They would not want to be the highlight of a party. Yes, such people are self-effacing. And such people let you operate. They'll not be over enthusiastic in offering advice. They'll not be over assertive. So self-effacing is the exact antonym. But out of these options, indifferent is a fitting option, considering that here this person is over interfering or over enthusiastic to offer advice. Hence, C. Synonym of officious, somebody who is domineering, somebody who is very self-important, considers, so self-effacing opposite is self-important, somebody who considers themselves very important, bossy, if you want a slang word for it, right? Then interfering, intrusive could be a synonym, right? So these are the synonyms: intrusive, bossy, self-important, and the opposite is indifferent. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. And no, it is not related to official uh, in the sense that they don't mean the same, right? Although it is related to asserting authority, which could be in a workplace, or offering help, which could be in a workplace, but no, it is not a synonym of official. Okay. An analogy question. So your NMAT exam does ask analogy questions and therefore you should prepare for it. Salve is to wound. You have to give me a similar relationship out of the five. Yes. Tell me. Micromanager. Callous is someone who does not care. So I think callous would be a synonym of indifferent. When you are callous in your attitude, you don't care about others' feelings. Narcissist. Can we go to the extent of calling this person narcissist? I doubt. Uh, narcissist bolna would be too extreme, Pratyusha. Micromanager, yes, Vedant. We can call such a person, an officious person, micromanager. Helicopter parent. Who is a helicopter parent? Yes, a new term for us. Who is a helicopter parent? Do they parent from a helicopter? Do they parent from a distance? Hmm. Or is it like a helicopter hovering over you? So, a helicopter parent would be an example of a parent being officious, a parent being over enthusiastic about raising their child, paying very close attention to their child. Okay. However, you would not use it as a synonym of officious. Helicopter parent is related to parenting. Officious is more related to, it's more of a term that is negative in the sense of somebody considering themselves as very important, right? So not synonyms, but yes, a new term for us. All right. Pratik says A. What about others? What is the similar relationship here? What is a salve, first of all? That's what we need to know, I think, before we can solve this question. Salve is not salvo. Remember, salvo means an attack. Salve, on the other hand, is a soothing balm. Okay, so it's a soothing balm. Do not confuse this word with salvo, which means an attack or a severe criticism. You can also use that, right? And now tell me which one is a similar relationship. I've got A so far. Okay. Any other option? Hmm. Waiting for your answers. Come on. Not going to discuss it with just three responses. B. All right. Others? D. Okay. So, good Prasanna. B is the answer here. Mollify is to anger. I think once you realize the meaning of salve, then it is easy to eliminate. See, we are putting a balm. We are soothing someone's wound. We are trying to heal someone's wound, right? Exploit is to weakness is rather a negative idea. This is a positive idea, isn't it? Healing someone's wound, exploiting someone's weakness. So I don't think it is that close. Let's see if we have better relationships. That's how you should approach this. Mollifies to anger. So when you mollify someone's anger, what do? You try to calm them down. You try to ease their, whatever they are angry about, ease their anger. So mollifies to anger has a sort of a similar relationship. No, a person is wounded, you are applying a healing ointment. A person is angry, you are trying to soothe them, calm them. So B is the relationship that is similar, not A. Squander is waste. Squander means to waste. In fact, a squanderer is a person who wastes their wealth. So squanderer, right? Somebody who's extravagant, somebody who's profligate. These are all synonyms. Profligate, extravagant, spendthrift. Okay. The opposites of ideas such as miserly, stingy. So squander is simply to waste. Okay. It's not associated with, healing or easing. It's associated with wasting. Emulate means to copy. When you emulate someone's achievement, you want to achieve the way they have achieved. You want to emulate their achievements. You want to copy in a way their achievements. So, no. Salvage is rescue. Salvage is to scrap. So, salvage is when you rescue scrap. So, I think the two options that you should have narrowed down to should have been B and E. Okay, mollify is to anger, salvage is to scrap. And out of these two, mollify is to anger is a closer relationship, because just like salve means to heal, mollify means to ease, right? And therefore, B. Make sense to you? If it doesn't, please let me know. Yes. Any query, any confusion between B and E, please ask. Because the word itself, it means to soothe. Salve ka meaning ही soothe hai, right? That's why mollify is a very close synonym of the word, and that's why we have rejected E. ठीक है. I'm assuming that it is clear to you. All right. Another analogy question, and this is an interesting one because it's not difficult. It depends on your elimination whether you get it correct or not. Tell me, what should the answer be? And this is the fifth question, not the fourth. Pratyusha says D. Okay. Others? Yes. I want 11 responses at least. What is tactile? That will pretty much answer this question. Tactile means related to touch. Related to touch. Priyal, the usual advice, in case you've seen Gautam sir's short, he says that we can, we should refrain from taking it in the first 2 weeks. The logic is that if there are any surprises that might come your way, they will come the way of those students who take it in the first 2 weeks. So actually, Gautam sir will take it in the first 2 weeks, and then he'll analyze the paper for you so that you get to know, okay, what new is being asked and what is the pattern this year, etc. So don't take it in the first 2 weeks. Otherwise, in case you want to get the flavor of a management entrance test before CAT, which is, let's say, your main exam, then you can take it before CAT so that you have an experience of sitting in the exam before CAT, right? So that is one logic that you can go by. In case, let's say, you feel that I want to first gain experience from CAT and then I want to learn from those mistakes and then take the NMAT, then you can take it afterwards also. So it entirely depends on your psychology. Don't take it in the first 2 weeks for sure. Otherwise, you can take it before CAT, after CAT, depending on what your preference is. Okay. This is just a myth, Priyal, that the level of difficulty increases the later you take the exam. No. Okay. So, tactile means something related to touch. So that means you, and moreover, we are talking about a sense here, one of the 5 senses here. So that should have helped you. And the answer here is clearly option D. In case you've marked E, did anyone mark E? Good. Nobody marked D. Oral is related to speaking, not hearing. Oral is related to hearing. Oral is different from oral. Two commonly confused words. Okay, so D is the answer. Nasal, see, nasal is related to nose. Actually, smell is the sense, not nose. Nose is the sense organ. We are talking about a sense here, right? So visible is related to sight, is the only fit here. Volume is not a sense, acoustic is not a sense. So D is the only possible answer. I'm glad that many of you realize this. Okay. And B and C also some of you have marked. So I hope now you've realized this. Nose is a sense organ and not sense. Volume is not a sense. Okay. Hence D Delhi. Now, let's look at an antonym question but in context. So, you have been given a sentence here. The word quiescent, this is pronounced as quiescent, not quiescent. Quiescent has been underlined, highlighted for you. I want you to give me the antonym of this word. Yes. Welcome, Priyal. Okay. Others? All right. A, E, A, B. Okay. So, see this. The sentence actually makes it clear for me. So now they are striking. Now the workers are striking. Earlier, these groups had been quiet. Yes, earlier they were not striking. Earlier they were not active. So earlier they were dormant. Earlier they might have been acquiescent also. Acquiescent does not is not the opposite of quiescent. Okay, in case some of you said E thinking that acquiescent means compliant. Quiescent means inactive or dormant. Inactive or dormant. So no, this is not the antonym here. Okay, the antonym is definitely active. And most of you, I think, many of you answered A. So I'm happy to see that. Dormant would be the meaning. I wanted you to give me the antonym of the word. So in the context also, the meaning of this word is inactive, dormant. I wanted you to give me an opposite of it. Right? So B is not the answer, bache. Siddharth. A is the antonym. Okay, so when you have this question where, let's say a word is highlighted and you're asked the antonym, even if it is highlighted in a sentence. So first see what would be the meaning of this word in this sentence. The meaning of this word in this sentence is this. And then give me the antonym of this word. Okay, so if the meaning is inactive, the opposite will be active. A. Okay, let's see this. So a cat spoils someone or something used as a dash. Dormant does not necessarily have to mean lazy. Okay, it is a similar word. Dormancy is again a period of rest, right? When, so for instance, we can talk about seeds as being dormant. Seasons, where, some plants are dormant, some animals are dormant. It simply means a period of inactivity. Does not necessarily have to associate it with laziness. But yes, a similar word. Okay. Dormant genes, yes. So Tirthya says D. Others, a cat's paw. This is the expression. Is someone or something used as a hmm, okay, symbol of excellence. Okay. So usually, the idioms associated with a cat. So usually the idioms associated with a dog tend to be bad. So for instance, a dog's day means you have had a bad day. A dog's breakfast means very bad food. Dog's life means a miserable life, right? Uh, On the other hand, some idioms associated with a cat are very positive. For instance, cat's whiskers. Yes, what does this stand for? Cat's whiskers? Yes. So, someone who's very appealing. So, let's say you like a person, you can call them the cat's whiskers, right? So, a person whom you find appealing is cat's whiskers. But it does not necessarily mean that all the idioms or all the expressions associated with a cat have to be positive. For instance, if you are like a cat on a hot tin roof, okay, so in the party, she acted like a cat on a hot tin roof. So, that means you were really uncomfortable. A cat on a hot tin roof will be really uncomfortable, no, because it's hot. So it means uncomfortable, out of place, awkward. A cat's voice, similarly, a negative idiom. It means that you used someone to carry out some unlawful, immoral activities, right? So when you use someone to carry out anything unlawful, anything immoral, when you use someone as a tool for your purposes, you use them as a cat's paw, right? So she was his cat's paw would mean she was a cat's paw for him would mean that he used her as a tool to carry out some illegal, unlawful activities. Okay, so B is the answer. Tool. So remember that not all idioms associated with cats are positive. All right. What about this one? Fill in the blanks. I want enthusiastic responses and more responses. Let's see what you say. Okay. Some of you were asking about the NMAT last date. Probably you are confused, so you can watch this video. I'm just sharing the link with you. Okay, so it depends on which attempt you want to take, whether you want to get it rescheduled, etc., etc. So the scheduling, okay, the scheduling is open till the 12th of October, Thursday, 12th of October, okay. The registration is open till the 10th of October. So registration abhi exam ke liye 10th of October tak open hai, and it opened on the 1st of August, right? Okay, ABCD. Prasanna says ABCD. All of them. D, C. All right. So it's D versus C so far, but I want more responses. I want 9, 10 responses. Then I'll discuss this. 5. Okay, I've got 5 so far. Such an easy question. It's not difficult. Even if you know just one of the 3 words that have been used in this question. Okay. All right. 6 responses. I'm counting. 7. Okay. All right, let me discuss. I accept defeat. I concede, right? Uh, so his dash was lying on a dash. See this. Um, the if so, for example, when I attempted this question, I was very sure that the palette that a painter has, on which he or she mixes colors, That palate has this spelling, P-A-L-E-T-T-E, right? Again, I knew the word palatable. So palatable food is tasty food. When you find something palatable, the idea appeals to you. Okay, or you are okay with that idea. Basically, you are able to digest that idea, or you find that idea appealing. That's the meaning. So palatable has something to do with food. Now, palatable actually comes from the word palate. Palate is the roof of your mouth, the roof of your mouth, which actually helps you experience various tastes, various types of taste. Okay, various types of sensations in taste. So palate से मुझे realize हुआ that I don't think that palette fits anywhere, because his palette was lying on a dash. Palette is there inside your mouth. It can't lie somewhere else, right? Similarly, his palette cannot lie on a palette. So I eliminated these two options right away. Okay. Then I was left with these two. Okay. What does this palette mean? P-A-L-L-E-T. P-A-L-L-E-T. Yes. बताओ बताओ जल्दी बताओ. So this is a relatively less known word. Okay. Now this PALLET, it is less known because you don't use it so frequently. It's a wooden structure. So it's a raised wooden structure, right? On which you place various boxes, in delivery. So if you go to various packaging sites, okay, or various transportation companies, they have these pallets. So boxes are placed on these pallets before being, let's say, transferred to trucks. So they are used for delivery. Sometimes they have wheels also for easy transfer. So that is called a pallet. Okay. So this makes sense that his pallet was lying on a pallet. So C makes sense and not D. I hope this makes sense to you also. Good. Riya, Tirthya, Vedant, Tarun, Agnishwar, all of you got it correct. Okay. Now, let's see this one. 5 options again. NMAT gives you 5 options. ZAT gives you 5 options. If you take the MHCT, that gives you 5 options. Okay. So all your questions also had 5 options today. Let's see what you say. Prasanna says B. Okay. Siddharth says B. Others. It's a good question actually. At least 2 options appear to be close here. Which options have you narrowed down to? So you're saying B, but my question is, which options have you narrowed down to? Because, yes, what do the others say? Have I got 9 responses at least? Okay, let me see. Perfect. A and B, B and C, all right. So actually, D and E are easy to eliminate, you are right. So flux means fluctuation. So if there is a fluctuation, the police probably will not be asked to investigate. If there's a decline, again, the police will probably not be asked to investigate. Moreover, look here, there's a decline of charitable activities. So these are not charitable activities, right? This does not make sense logically. Okay, let's have a look at these three. I understand you're marking B, but sometimes I tell you that grammar also helps in vocabulary. Surge is a word that is followed by the preposition in. There is always a surge in something, surge in crime, surge in bad activities, surge in illegal activities. Surge is not followed by of. B is eliminated. Between A and C, tell me, which is a better answer? What is the meaning of this word spate? Yes, spate का क्या meaning होता है? So here we are talking about different crimes. You see, drug dealing, vandalism, vandalizing public property, right? Theft. We are talking about different crimes here, right? So probably these crimes happened in a large number, one after the other. So when we talk about an increase, okay, in a number of things, when we talk about a large number of things happening one after the other, that is called a spate, right? We are talking about different activities here, so even spate fits here. A large number of things happening one after the other. So the police were called to investigate a spate of nefarious. Nefarious again means something that is illegal, something that is wicked. Okay, both actually define nefarious. So C is going to be the answer. Okay, now the police were called to investigate a wave of criminal activities in the area, including drug dealing, vandalism, and theft. So, see, again, if you look at it, no, because the police has been asked to investigate, probably there has been some change there. Probably there has been some increase there, right? So, spate makes better sense as compared to a wave of. Wave is something that when something rises and then it subsides also. That's called a wave, right? So, we called the COVID wave a wave because we knew that eventually it was going to subside. So wave does not fit as well as the word spate. So it was a very well framed question, okay, wherein surge made sense to us, even wave made sense to us, but we had to find the best fit, and the best fit was spate and nefarious. Okay, so spate of nefarious activities. I hope that makes sense to you. If it doesn't, please ask. Surge, grammatically incorrect. Wave, rises and falls. Spate, increase in quick succession. A large number of things happening in quick succession. Makes perfect sense. And is it correct to say the police were called? Is it correct to say that the police were called grammatically? Spate means a large number of things happening, quickly one after the other. That is spate. So if let's say the number of cyber attacks, okay, they increase. So the number of cyber attacks on our IT infrastructure increase, we'll say there has been a spate of cyber attacks. There has been a sudden increase in quick succession, one after the other. All right. So the police were okay. So Prasanna says yes, it is correct. Yes, police is a noun. Police is a collective noun that is always plural. Always plural, okay? So the police are investigating the case. The police were investigating. The police have done this. Okay, always plural. Okay, so Caesar answer here. Nefarious, now you know the meaning. Flux is fluctuation. All right, so I have discussed all the words here. So these were some of the words for today. I hope you learned some new words, and I hope you also understood how to attempt these question types, right? And this was my last session. Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure teaching all of you. Welcome. Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you.